Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's time for game number 2 of IG versus Navi. No, this is not the International 3.
It better not be.
But it well could be. These
better not be, the way that some of these teams are playing.
I'm LD, he's Lumi, and he is very ticked off right now.
Damn. Alright, let's get in a draft. Navi is going to be picking up Alchemist and Lifestealer. That's a lot of HP to go through. Me on Victus Gaming, going for Visage and Gyrocopter. Batrider and Wisp being banned out. Tree left in the pool. I'm not sure whether Navi could fit Tree into this particular lineup, or whether they need to, because they're fairly tanky to start with.
Yeah.
Well, they ban it out now. IG says none of that shenanigans.
Well, it's probably not something Navi would have picked in the first two. So I like the fact that IG didn't freak out and say we have to ban Tree first round.
Right.
Because if you pick Tree that early, then IG can kind of game plan against it. They get something like a Gyrocopter, lots of damage instances, which they actually already have anyway. But something that just deals with living armor a bit better. So they didn't freak out. But they will remove it now. Navi have gone for a very strong dual core, Alchemist Lifestealer. It's hard to say how they're going to run this, though, because Havost normally plays both of these heroes. I don't think I've seen Navi ever run a solo mid-alch. We have seen that puppy support alch, though, and maybe that's something they'll turn to here again in game number 2.
In either case, the lanes are going to be a little bit awkward for Navi. They generally don't tend to run offensive trialing. When they do, it's with the Havost, and it's generally not very effective. It seems like that's one of the definitely less practiced things that Navi have done. Or you could run an offensive trialing with, I guess, Funnick on the Lifestealer and have Havost solo up top. But
it's not something they definitely could. It's just not something Funnick's played a lot, so I would be a little surprised. IG will go for a puck here. A 430 puck also denies this to Dendi. And speaking of Dendi heroes, who's left in the pool that really stands out to you? Because they don't have his yet.
Storm Spirit with the Lifestealer is definitely it. It's going to be somewhat difficult in the laning stage against Puck. You could get easily picked off once Puck gets a Blink Dagger. But I'm not too sure whether I like Puck as a pickup here, because both these heroes, one has Rage and one is prone to get a BKB. They will farm it very quickly, and that's when your Puck really falls off as mid-game kind of specialist team fight. Once BKBs are up, Puck does nothing.
Yeah, early Orchid as well from that Storm, if he gets one, could be very potent. It really depends on the way the game develops if you want to go for that. Shadowblade Alch can punish Puck quite a bit as well, but if it's a support Alch, we most likely won't see that until much later on. So Navi now, Dendi's hero has not been selected. The Kuroki Rubik is still available. IG choosing not to ban it this time. However, that being said, I don't think there's nearly as many ridiculous spells to steal. There's no Sakuchi, there's no Burrow Strike, so even if Kuroki gets Rubik, while he often makes spectacular plays with that hero, he'll have a much more limited pool of abilities to do it from.
Yeah, also, to Faith, he had really good stuns with the birds, but gotta have better controls with the bird. To be fair, he was up against the one-shot thing that you were talking about from the OD Orbs. Hopefully he's gonna have a better time. Gyrocopter as a carry, I personally didn't think he was that good in terms of a matchup against Alchemist and Lifestealer. How do you think he matches up against now even a Storm pick here from Navi?
It's a pretty decent matchup. I really like this Storm pick. I mean, it's obvious it's the go-to pick, but this gives them also much-needed lockdown, because Puck's a hero you just want to grab and burst. And with Lifestealer Storm, you get a Basher, or you get an Orchid, or a Scythe, you can definitely bring the puck down. As for IG, how do you think they're going to look to lane this? Is this an offensive tri-lane gyro? Are they running a safe lane gyro and then some sort of other Visage tri-lane? Like, where do they go with these picks? What do you think is their best option? It's a support alch. Is that something they can exploit? Or probably a support alch, I should say.
Well, you still don't know, because they definitely could run the offensive tri-lane. I'm not too sure, but I think their draft should reflect on two things. Navi, if they could go late enough for 3 BKBs on these 3 cores, it is absolutely impossible for these guys to win a team fight unless you pick up more physical damage. I don't think Gyrocopter alone could do it. So, if you don't want to go late, then you go for some sort of early aggression. None of these heroes are too fantastic early. I guess Gyrocopter is pretty good, Visage is decent, Puck's nice, but they're not excelling in tower pushers either. So, I'm not sure how they will take this draft. They're not pushing that well. They're not extending to the late game that powerfully because they're a hero potential. I just don't like their draft.
Well, Chen is going to be the choice for Navi. They get a classic puppy hero here. They get a support that can find his own farm. And with this pick, now it looks like a Havost Alchemist and possibly a Funnick Lifestealer.
Yep. We've seen Funnick, or we've seen Brax on the long lane on Lifestealer, and if you play it well enough, you should be able to survive, especially against Rubik and Visage. They have decent initiation, but they don't have a ton of good harass. So especially if you have a good style shield, if you get a quick phase boots, you win the lane solo against these two supports. So I think that's the lane matchup that Navi will definitely want to take.
And for IG, they see what Navi's doing, right? This isn't a greedy lineup. They're running a jungler in the Chen who isn't like the strongest laning hero. You can do a decent amount with creeps, but really you just want to farm, get an early mech, at least get 3 creeps, hit level 5, or 2 creeps, hit level 5. Get your Hand of God as fast as possible. It's a greedy lineup for Navi. Make no mistake about it. How do IG look to exploit that? What can they do here to really punish it?
Beat them in lanes. You have a ton of melee heroes. Storm has a disadvantage to Puck. Gyrocopter beats most of these laners, whether it's Alchemist or Lifestealer. So I guess their only way to do it now is to snowball off their laning stage, get a ton of towers, because these guys are not too good at tower defending. I talked about IG's lack of pushing, but yeah, IG doesn't need really good pushing heroes when Navi can't defend. So seems like
let's see what Bruno has to think. I'm very interested to know what was on his mind right now.
Something just pointed my attention. The last ban from IG was a bounty hunter. We normally see sometimes we see Poppy playing the support alchemist, but the ban of the 3 hero makes me think that IG believes that it can be an alchemist support with a Lifestealer, Storm Spirit mid, Chen in the jungle, and 1 extra offlaner. Do you see that happening? Because I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking more like an offlane Lifestealer, a safe lane Alch, a Storm mid, and then your double support.
That makes more sense, but then why the bounty hunter ban?
Bounty hunter, this is a Fnatic EU strat where they put bounty, Lifestealer, and Storm, and it's like raining gold for the team that has all three because one track and you know the Lifestealer bomb flies out of nowhere. It is so annoying to deal with, but at the same time, you could easily push against that because what does that lineup do in terms of defending a push? They have acid spray. I guess that's it. So yeah, it seems like Invictus Gaming says, all right, we're gonna forgo our late game. We're gonna go for lane control, early game dominance, and then just pick on these kind of weak melee laners. I consider Storm as a quasi melee laner because he's fairly weak.
This is a really dominant laning stage for IG. They have 5 ranged heroes.
They have to win so hard though.
They can. I feel like this is a lineup that could just crush the lanes.
I think it's gonna be the. Am I on? I think it's going to be more of the support Alch, actually. I don't think I've ever seen Funnick play the off-lane Lifestealer, and although...
Neither have I.
Yeah, and although I guess Havos could do it, just think it's more into their playstyle and lineup to do so.
I guess Kuroki will play the Chen in that case because... No, there's a Lina.
So I guess it is going to be the off-lane Lifestealer.
Unless it's an off-lane Lina.
Could be off-lane Lina.
Maybe a safe lane Lifestealer here and run an aggressive tri-lane, Alch, Chen, Lina. Not the strongest by any means, but... We'll have to see what Navi do. I imagine they want to try and dodge this IG tri-lane, though, Lumi.
Yeah, well...
Do you really want to tri-lane against a Visage, Windrunner, and Rubik?
No.
Probably not.
No, you do not.
When you think about it like that.
But again, now actually they swapped. They had Havos selecting the Lifestealer, and now they swap it back to...
Oh, yeah, he was on the Alchemist, actually.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. And Alchemist so far has got pulled a salve, and he has 500 gold in the bank.
Interesting.
What's going on? Is this offlane Alchemist? I'm not sure if that works.
Maybe rushing that Hand of Midas. Maybe Funnick wants to get greedy here. We'll have to see. We'll introduce the teams now. For Team Navi, you've got Dendi on the Storm, Havost on the Lifestealer, Puppy handling the Chen, Funnick, the Alch, Navi, a very aggressive squad, and last but not least, Kuroki on the Lina. And then they will be playing IG, your defending International 2 champions. They got to be rattled after game 1, Lumi.
They
got to fight. Favos comes in off the bat. Now wants to run. He gets lifted back. It could be a Rocket Barrage, but he pops Rage. Still dropping quickly. Now a stun being channeled by Funnick. Only clips Faith. Good spread here. Now a Shackle and Kuroki. Rocket Barrage will be channeled off the bat. Navi are going to give up a first blood. It's a bit of a greedy draft here. And now they've complicated matters greatly by giving away a first blood.
That is really, really bad for Navi. Like you said, they need to run greedy. They need to play safe. And the foray into the enemy jungle for IG very, very successful, and they're blocking multiple camps, or at least trying to do so. IG, the 6, or Chuan, is going to be playing the Rubik. We have YYF playing Wimner once again. Last time Shaka was beautiful. Let's see if he can keep it up. We have Zoe playing, seems like offensive trailing Jaro.
Oh, they're going to find Puppy as well.
Here.
Oh,
Lift
no.
him up, and right now Zoe's being blocked in by Faith, but Puppy thought he was safe. They thought the enemy team has left. And this ninja spot, IG has picked up yet another kill. Another stun goes on Faith, who's on the Visage. But they are very, very happy.
You know, Lumi, that was actually really smart because they knew that Navi hadn't warded yet because they saw them all just running along the southern track here, and they had the aggressive position over here for IG. So they set a trap. The Maroon's about to spawn. Puppy's like, oh, they're out of my jungle. They're probably preparing for the tri-lane, and completely punishes it. Smart little play there by IG, and 2 kills off the bat for them. They now lead by 750 gold, 300 experience, and dare I say it, we have ourselves a series.
Maybe we'll see. Seeing the last game, I'm putting all the doubts on IG because I don't know what's going on. But critically, IG trialing is about to hit level 2. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane here, Ferrari getting completely outlaned by Dendi. Dendi got pulled, but
so did 430.
Yeah, so did him. So yeah, Ferrari shouldn't be losing this lane as hard as he did because he got the 1 extra kill advantage. Keep in mind when they got the first blood.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not sure if any of that gold went to him. Oh, obviously he got the assist gold,
right.
But he didn't get any kill gold there, so it's not a big advantage, but Denny off the bat, off to a good start. The good news is 430's picked up his bottle. I don't think we've actually properly introduced IG. 430.
He's got a south.
Your solo mid puck towards the bottom lane. Well, Faith on the Visage, Joe on the Gyro, Chuan playing the Rubik, and last but not least, YYF on the Windrunner. I think you started to introduce them, but then we had a chaotic fight.
Well, Dendi down to about half HP. Here comes Chuan. I don't really think he could get
they can make a go.
Yeah, they lift him. They toss him back. There's no silence on Puck just yet. He's got the level 2 orb. And then they try to fight himself out of there. A couple more right clicks. Salve's going to get used. Salve's going to get cancelled. But hey, that's fine. A
lane that Dendi was winning now gets really hard. He doesn't have his bottle yet, actually. Only 500 gold. And if he tries to stick around for that bottle, could very well die. 430 does have an orb. It's a slow-moving projectile, so it's something Dendi could dodge. But if he gets caught by an orb, make no mistake about it, that's death for Dendi. And 430 is going to try and zone him out of the lane, denying all these creeps. Dendi is going to have to look for these last hits the hard way. He might even just have to go Fountain. No, he does have he ferries into salve, but he delays his bottle as a result.
Yeah, both solo mid players ferry themselves a salve, so they're on equality in terms of being harassed down. But with that wave, like you said, being zoned out like that is a big boon for 430.
That's 4 CS he missed, and now
look at Chuan.
Oh, he's hunting this courier. He's expecting the bottle to come because it hasn't yet.
This is old school bounty hunter play, or maybe he's waiting for the zone to come against Dendi. I don't think they can make that particular tower dive. One of the often forgotten fact about Stormsphere on the mid lane is that he's got a ton of base armor. Look at that, 6 base armor. I don't think you can actually right click him down.
Yeah, this was more just about trying to snipe that courier, but no bottle forthcoming. They won't find the kill. And now Puppy will go back to jungle. He does hit level 3 3 minutes in, which considering he died earlier, had to make it back to the jungle the slow way, isn't too bad for him. And overall, they're running an offlane lifestealer. Havosta's getting some farm. Funnick on the safe lane, going for more of your combat build. No points in greed, early acid spray, maxing concoction, at least for now. It's not all bad for Navi. They have a pretty good mid-game ganking lineup, but make no mistake about it, these lanes are going to be very hard for them. The one lane they could have won, well, I'd say it's even now at best. 13-6 for 430, Dendi 12-3, and then YYF on the Windrunner, Joe on the offlane Gyro. They are just getting so much farm out of these side lanes.
Yeah, I feel like IG is not winning these lanes hard enough, and that's mostly thanks to Puppy. He's rotating and sending creeps, harassing. We saw Furbog being sent on the bot lane, and it's slowly Navi is not exactly winning these lanes, but they're actually doing quite okay. Dendi now catching back up with bottle crawling. Top lane, your off lane life, so they're doing quite okay.
Really aggressive here. That could be a soul assumption kill. They'll throw it out. It's close. No Grave Chill used. I think they could have gone for that with the Grave Chill, but might not have been quite in range.
I'm surprised they didn't go for it. Grave Chill does have a fairly large cast range, and that slow will be very critical. Phase speed is now up, and I think for IG, they should be pushing this lane fairly aggressively. A single Grave Chill will mean the death of Funnick.
Yeah, he can be really zoned out of lane. This also means the flat cannon shots hit a lot harder. He doesn't have his level 6 yet. He's out of regen at this point. That lane's hard for him, and Puppy's, I wouldn't say trapped, but he's in a rough spot here. Who does he help? Does he help Dendi mid? Seems like Dendi's okay, but you do want to give that Storm a powerful start, find him a kill if possible. Speaking of which, Chuan comes in mid, posts up and looks for a kill. If they got a lift there, Dendi was going to die. That would have delayed his level 6, but just barely dodges it and escapes his fate.
I think Puppy doesn't need to help anybody. The bot lane, even if he sends a creep or 2 into it now, it doesn't do too much. I think he should just look for his own level 6, and getting that level 6 by itself will help. But he's sending a creep on the mid lane here. They are looking for the kill, and I mean, he's seen the double damage on Ferrari. He also seen Chuan there. I'm surprised that Dendi just walked in and got lifted like that.
Yeah, they even have an observer ward. I don't think Chuan smoked for that. I think Dendi just came out a little bit too far.
Yeah, kind of a rare mistake on Dendi, who is usually very careful with that. And now that's going to give a boost of speed on Puck and possibly the next rune as well.
Speaking of smokes, Chuan now picks one up and might look to make a go. Mid lane will have a teleport in from Dendi. They've delayed his level 6. They've slowed down that snowball. And the Lifestealer farming well in the off lane, but it's not like Kavost is crushing this lane. 23-4. he's not finding kills. These two heroes are the ones that you really want to have a powerful start. The Alk, if he gets shut down, he could still drop Acid Spray. His stun still hits hard no matter how much farm he has, and can catch up later with Grievel's Greed, but that was an incredibly important kill. Slowing down Dendi is essential. The good news for Navi is Puppy's level 5. He's been jungling efficiently at a Wildkin. He's using the Tornado to farm creeps, and now they're going to smoke up. They'll head towards mid, but Puppy only has 1 creep, and it's only a Wildkin creep. Not the easiest gank to execute here.
Well, they have Dendi for the pull, and they will have LSA to follow up. They see Chuan right there, and he's the person they're going to make it go on. Here's a pull. Here's going to be a zip. LSA hits as well, and that should be it. A ton of nukage, and more importantly, a ton of EXP going towards the Navi side for getting the first kill on the board.
Yeah, Chuan did place an Observer Ward here before going down, so he'll give 430 a bit of a better time in terms of spotting those ganks. Very even game so far, Lumi. It looked horrible for Navi. They gave up 2 kills and a first blood early. Now they'll zip in mid. They want to make it go on 430, but he's going to get the silence up. Doesn't matter. It's only a level 1 silence. He goes down as well. It's 430's turn to play a little bit overconfidently in the mid lane. He had an Observer Ward, but just didn't see them coming up the lane because it is nighttime.
Yeah, underestimating the initiation range of Stormstorm. Maybe thought he was out of mana. Meanwhile, on the bot here, maybe they're making go. Funnick tossing out a stun. Again, Grave Chill and Zoe perhaps slightly out of position. They are winning the lane, they being IG, but they're not winning hard enough. And
they have 41 and 28 on this Gyrocopter. I think IG is a really strong mid-game 5-man. Navi are the team that just want to farm and find pickoffs. So at some point this game, I expect we are going to see this puck rotate off the lane and look for some kills. Maybe not quite yet, but soon. And same for that Gyro. If IG want to group, they have a pretty good lineup to try and punish Navi for having 3 farmers.
yeah, for now.
But for now, they're not doing it.
I mean, I wonder when the switch is going to flip here for IG. Are they going to start pushing
Going in
towers?
bottom. They found Fate. There's a big stun from Funnick. They blow him up in a hurry.
Yep. And
Easy kill.
I like the residual nuke of both the Dragon Slave as well as the Shockwave from the Satyr. Also hit the Gyrocopter, doing a little bit of slight harass there. But here's your Chen getting level 6, so that puck gank is not going to be as effective.
Yep, Puppy hits level 6, has access to Hand of God, as you mentioned, Lumi. And this is important when you have a Storm, because Puck can jump in, silence him. If you get a Rubik liftoff, you can guarantee the silence, and it's often enough burst to bring him down. But now with Hand of God, things get a lot trickier. Do you really want to go on that Storm? I think for IG, they just want to start abusing Ancients. Stack the Ancients, farm the neutrals as much as possible. They found Dendi at the room, but he does manage to pick up 430 for the time being. He zips forward, he goes for the kill. Silence is there. There is a coil, and he'll drop it now. Dendi's going to zip out of the coil. You're invulnerable while doing so. He doesn't take the damage from breaking it, and he escapes. So now coil on the sidelines, and that's pretty good news here for Navi.
A good face by Ferrari, so that Chuan takes that overload hit.
They're gonna punish Dendi. In comes Zhou. Call down drop, but it doesn't connect. I think Dendi may fall here anyway. He zips once more.
Ooh, snipe.
They are throwing everything at him.
The haste ring gets denied here by that Wildkin, so nicely done there. LSA is going to hit on 2 as well as a stun. Everything on top of Faith. Faith's going to go down. Even the Tornado being micro. Zoe is going to go down as well. What micro? Kamyao. And it looks like, oh, these
they're gonna find
LSAs
3.
are absolutely beautiful. Kuroki playing out of his mind right now.
I'm not sure why 430 went back in there. He didn't have coil. He had 10 stick charges. I guess thought maybe he could make a play and chip away at this Lina, but they had to sack their losses. That was just, well, the call down missed on Dendi, so they had to chase him a lot further. And Navi, quick reactions, great stun combo there, good rotations from this team. And now they lead 6-4. We're 9 minutes in. It's about an even gold game. Yeah. IG started with a first blood and a second kill. They were up 2-0, yet the gold graph is going Navi's way, and the experience graph, a 2,000 experience lead. In game 2 of this best of 3, Navi are already leading 1-0 and looking very, very strong.
Yeah, whatever lead that IG hoped for to get a better laner as we go into a zip on the mid lane. Dendi says, silence is over, I'll pull you again. Ferrari, need to orb out. Where's the orb? Nice phase, but you cannot run away from Dendi. Meanwhile, Puppy picks up the kill. I think this is also, now seeing how the matchup plays out, perhaps the Puck needed to level up his silence a little bit more. Stun's going to fly through on the bot lane again, so just a little bit of harass.
He's just spamming these stuns. So annoying to lane against, especially as one of these squishier heroes, intelligence, agility heroes. That damage really adds up. And IG, they did make a go on the top lane, but it's the power of that offlane lifestealer. Not an easy hero to kill. Havost not dying at all this game. 0-0 and 0, and that's exactly what they needed from him. Just don't die, farm as much as you can, and force IG to spend 2 heroes to try and shut you down. They haven't really done it. He is still 49-9. He's almost your lead farmer for the entire game, but he's certainly up there for his team as the most farmed in terms of creep score. They'll go on YYF now. Huin runs out. Chuan's going to come in. He throws Kuroki straight up and down and should be able to escape. Maybe not against this phase boots lifestealer. Shackle is there. Will connect. No coil. Unfortunately, 430 blew it mid earlier. And that means Favos can run away. Familiars come through as well. Fishing for a stun. One will connect. The next as well. But where's the follow-up damage? It's just not sufficient. And now IG, they do have a slightly stronger 5-man here, especially in the early to mid game. They'll look to push. But Navi, this is where you just split push. This is where you farm. And even if you give up this tower, you get a lot before giving it up.
Does Ferrari usually play Puck, or is this one of those heroes that he just kind of drafted and he's playing it right now?
It's definitely a hero he's played quite a bit before, but
okay.
We haven't seen too much of it lately. It's just not been his game.
Yeah, the skill build's a little bit questionable against Storm. He's also, using coil against a Storm that could zip away. It just feels like he doesn't know the matchup as well as he should, and he's giving up a couple kills because of it. He's died a couple more times because of it. And
so what would you like to see instead? Just a max silence first?
I think this is a build that maybe you want to prioritize those silence a little bit more. Maybe we get a residential Puck player, Merlini, later on and ask for his opinion. But
they're going in again.
Storm zip, the silence, and now you make it out with a level 2 silence instead of a level 1. You survive that pull, that initiation from Dendi if you have high enough level of the Waning Rift.
Yeah, it seems like it definitely made the difference there. The last time he tried to do that, he got caught. So
with level 1, it doesn't work, yeah.
Yeah, level 1 is very short. But IG, for the time being, they haven't lost the tower yet, and they do have a gyrocopter who, if he gets a BKB, will be pretty resilient in these fights. He might not be immortal. Lifestealer still does a lot of physical damage. Acid Spray, the minus armor, could potentially cause him some problems. But I think they're in a decent position right now. They just need to start taking advantage of their lineup's ability to farm the neutrals. I'd love to see some ancient stacks from IG. I'd love to see them just putting up some defensive wards and getting the 430 Blink Dagger. I don't think they're in an awful spot to sit back and farm. There's still no points of Grievel's Greed for Funnick, and Havost is going for mid-gate items. Even Dendi, oh no, they've gone in mid, but 430 barely able to escape. Once again, it's made the difference having that second pointed silence, and IG, they do find a Lina kill.
Yeah, they find a Lina kill, but that was rotation of basically all of their heroes, and Puck was forced back as well. They're going to try to push off of this without call
Danny
down.
wants to go. Maybe he'll be sent back and then zip in.
He actually can go. If Lifestealer joins in, they could probably even get a couple kills. They don't have call down on the other side. You have Hands of God. They have a ton of leeways. But for now, they're playing it patient.
They were thinking about it, but IG wisely will back off. With no 430 in the fight, you just don't want to be too aggressive. They desperately need that coil, and like you said, the call down on cooldown. Wisely, IG back off. I think they just sit back and farm. Get your BKB on your gyrocopter, get your Blink Dagger on the Puck, and defend your towers at all costs. YYF mech coming soon for him. If you get up these strong defensive items, then you have a pretty decent 5-man. And Navi, okay, counter push. Lina provides decent counter push. Alk does as well. But it's not overwhelming. The mech and they can at least take the tier 1s. I don't know about tier 2s yet, but you do that, and maybe you can start farming these ancients, setting up for Roche. IG definitely behind in game 2 of this best of 3, but by no means are they out of it yet.
Yeah, they're trying to get a tier 1 tower for themselves. Gotta be careful because the rotation is coming up from Kuroki trying to LSA these
They're really going for this. Chuan, he's thinking about a lift. He lifts Havost up. Not sure what the plan is here. They just
trying to zone and harass and get themselves a tower kill. Oh my god! Havost comes in.
And now he's going to TP out. There's no way to stop this, so instead, they're going for Kuroki. They have deployed a coil. Call down as well. It's only on one hero, but they do get the kill. And Navi, they'll sack that. They didn't even use Hand of God. They decide we'd rather trade instead. They might try to punish these heroes. TPing in. They've caught YYF. The pull. The nukes. It might be enough. Test of Faith as well, but Wind running his way out. YYF tries to live. He can't. He'll go down. Now a Hand of God, and Dendi wants to find some additional kills. Beautiful troll trap. Perfect micro here so far. Joe is low. He will fall. Dendi on the way out. 430. No coil. Will be forced to phase away. Could have been a lot worse. Meanwhile, top lane. Chuan on the run. Havost. This ghoul is a predator, and Chuan just has no way out. Not right now. He's got to keep on juking. Rain around the Rosie. It won't matter. He will go down. And that's 3 kills and a tower denied top. Bad to worse for IG.
IG's just getting outplayed.
That's it.
I think that's flat out outplayed.
Yeah, 430 getting outplayed mid. Puppy, fantastic micro. Perfect timing on the troll trap there. And then Havost, just beautiful rage timing to deny that tower. They
can't even blame lag.
Yeah, you can't.
They're both in China.
Yeah,
and Havost
not a factor.
Havost, Dendi, Puppy, Kuroki, every member of Navi just outplaying.
Navi's playing really well. I also feel like IG's underperforming a bit, but Faith's going to get caught bottom lane. There's your clown deployed by the gyro, and Navi are on the way out. This bottom tier 1 will be defended. IG, this dire squad marching forward, hunting Funnick. YYF looking for a shackle. He'll throw it. It's not going to connect for the backside.
He's got Shadow
the
Blade.
wraparound. He's got a Shadow Blade, and now Laguna to the plays. Joe, BKB deferred, delayed. Save for a rainy day. He'll fall, and now Tron has stolen a Light Strike Array, but how much does this actually do? The 5-man lineup might just be about to get 5-man here.
Yeah, Storm is going to zip in just a little bit of mana here. Ferrari needs his Blink Dagger. YYF needs to finish his mech. I think IG, despite needing desperately to play aggressive, they got to scale it back a little bit. They are fighting against the clock right now because when BKB comes up on Storm as well as Alchemist, they lose. YYF is going to get stunned for sure. No, I would say it's going to go on a YYF first, and that's yet another kill.
Tron did steal Light Strike Ray. He hits 2. Now 430 blinks out with the orb. Tries to escape. Faith. Grave chill and then run. Dendi has a pull from long range. He will pick him up, but Chuan lifts him up as well and throws out the stolen Light Strike Array yet again. Chuan's doing everything in his power to turn this game around. They found 2. The stolen Light Strike Arrays make the difference. Now they find 3. Navi on the back foot. It's not over just yet, folks. Hang on to your hats. Tobo's still giving chase. He will use the Infest. Almost finds 2. Can't quite yet. Dendi, I thought I heard a buyback, but no, has not bought back. Only your Alchemist has. It's Funnick coming in. Shadowblade's here. He'll stun himself. Giving chase. That was a decent, scrappy exchange there for IG at the end, but still Navi now leading by 5k gold, 10k experience. The kill score 14-9, 17 minutes in.
Yeah, that was a pretty important fight for IG, considering that Ferrari didn't die throughout that fight, got a ton of assist gold, and he needs to retain his gold for that Blink Dagger, but Mech is now up. Oh my goodness. Another backbreaking item for Navi. And another kind of harder and harder fight for IG to come.
Yep, Navi, they haven't taken the tier 1 yet. It still stands bottom lane. YYF holding on to it. His deaths are the biggest problem for this team because YYF played very well in that top lane. Yeah, he couldn't find kills. It could have been a very fast mech, but now 2 deaths to his name. He easily would have had it by now. And imagine if IG had a mech in these fights. That would have made such a big difference for them.
Yeah, that would definitely nullify a ton of damage output. You saw how low everybody went when IG was retreating. As mech not only gives them the HP heal, the +5 armor is really good against the Acid Spray, the Life Stealer. So you're absolutely right. They needed that mech. They didn't have it. They're going to try to push this tower. And I do believe Dendi is coming. And where's Havos? I got to keep track of him. Are we going to see some bombs dropping in?
Yeah, we could definitely see either a Shadow Blade bomb or even a Dendi zip bomb. Maybe they just even walk in because Dendi
on cooldown
can jump from anywhere. YYF gets caught by a stun. Navi not yet committing to this fight. 430 lurking. Has an Invis rune up. There's no detection for him just yet. Puppey has his mech, by the way. He's had it for quite some time now, as well as a level 2 Hand of God. So if you go on Navi, you would better find one hero by himself and drop everything and then get the hell out. Because otherwise, you won't actually scratch them. You won't put a dent in their armor, and then they turn the fight around. They have been smoked up. They'll find Funnick. He gets lifted, thrown back into a rocket barrage, and then silenced. That's what they need. Just these quick pickoffs where Hand of God and mech won't be enough.
I think you back. They need mech. They need Blink. They need Force Staff. There's no reason to take this fight right now. Of course, there is.
Oh, there's a reason for Dendi to want to take it.
Oh, nice LSA. If you get the silence off Shackle Shot, beautiful. What a fight here. And here comes Havos. They want Chuan. Chuan should be okay. As I say that, though, he is going to go down. 2 for 1. He invests back into the creeps, and he can be sent back home anytime. These are some nice pickoff for IG, though. I don't think they could test. They should test their luck, because Alchemist is back in about 10-15.
You say you shouldn't test your luck. IG say, screw it, Lumi, we're going in. They've found Puppey. They want to bring him down. Rocket Barrage is there. The Hand of God, the mech. It's not enough. I think Puppey will fall. Maybe not. It's a backside. Double Light Strike Array combo. They do kill off Pup in the end. Now 430 low. He orbs out. He might escape. Chuan was the lone casualty for IG. They found 3. They only lost to support Rubik. Call it a big win for them. And the worst part for Navi, they weren't farming, but now Havos gives chase to YYF. Still has the mech. 10 stick charges. No way to kill him, not just as your life stealer. Dendi's been dying a lot. That's starting to become a bit of a concern. 3, 4, and 4. He had such a good start. He does need to farm up this next item. He's actually
zipping on the mid lane here. Finds himself Zoe, and Zoe, well,
no way out for him. That's big.
Yeah.
As IG, they slacken just a moment on the discipline, and immediately Navi punish it. And they have the kind of lineup that can do that. You have to maintain perfect discipline this game if you're IG.
Yeah, and that team fight throughout the entire thing, as a IG fan, I was just shaking because I was like, man, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. Good picks, and they're now putting themselves back in the game, and they're still attempting to push this. YYF, very careful, should be about his mana conservation. He needs to pop mech. He needs to save enough to pop the mech.
For the time being, IG, they have 3 park bottom. They're still trying to take down this tier 1. Funnick, the Shadow Blade you mentioned, has been up for quite some time. Now he works towards a BKB. of his own, and he's pushing the top tower, slowly slapping it down. He's not, I wouldn't quite say he's making mincemeat out of it, but he is pounding away. The tower's going to fall fairly soon. IG will go for a trade. They'll take the tier 1 bottom for this, and Navi content to accept that trade. This will get Dendi closer and closer to his first big item. I imagine this one is going to be a Scythe of Vice. A Lincoln Sphere is okay, but there's still Puck Silence to worry about.
Yeah, I personally would like BKB more. It just makes him invulnerable in these team fights, but Scythe of Vice always a good choice on Storm Spirit. So now as they're pressuring and maybe setting up to take the tier 2 up top, it feels like IG, despite their foray into the bot lane, they're just so defensive, considering how offensive that Navi's playing. In fact, that's what they're going for, that tier 2 up top.
They really do want to find pickoffs. If you run headlong into 5 Navi heroes, even though they don't have the best teamfight abilities, they've got the best, well, they have Hand of God, I guess, that's a big one. But they have mech, and they're just getting tanky through items. And it's hard to burst anyone down, especially in a 5v5. 430 does a Blink Dagger, though. There's your double familiar stun. Now he jumps forward. 430, he's got a phase shift dodge this stun. He will. Great reactions from him. Even through the invis, he spots it, he'll get away.
Oh, Tron gets, he actually rage out of the net. Nicely play here in Havos. Lows and hidden ones, but they do defend that tier 2 for now.
Not often you see a Rubik able to get out of that kind of a sticky situation. 430 still hunting. He wants to go in, but Havos is not really the one you want to catch. He will find him, only silencing the Lifestealer, and I don't think they can bring him down in time. He's still raged. Dendi jumps in the middle of 5 enemy heroes, and out comes Havos. Nope, doing so much damage. Houghton, Joe on the run. No BKB yet. Faith gets clipped. A double familiar stun on 3-4 heroes won't matter. That is just too much Lifestealer. Nobody can handle that. Didn't even have to use Infest until the very end of the fight.
Yeah, the decision to go on Havos, who is just absolutely tanky with the armlet and the drums, was very, very questionable.
And he's backed up by Hand of God and Mech. That you really have to question that.
I think the pickoffs that you're looking for is Puppey and Kuroki. Those are the only two that you could safely go for, maybe on the Storm Spirit, because he's going for a little bit more of a glass cannon build, but they gone for the tankiest hero on the map, and I don't know about that one.
I think he thought he could catch 2 heroes there with a Blink Silence Coil, but Navi just have had a nice spread all game.
Yeah.
They've made it very hard for 430 from the laning stage to the mid game, and despite picking up the Blink Dagger, you often look to that to be the tide-turning item for a Puck, but a 23-minute Blink, when the enemy team has so much tankiness in general, be it an Alchemist with an Ogre Club working towards a BKB, be it a Lifestealer with his natural tankiness and an Armlet, or be it Puppey with his Hand of God mech, they just have too much beef on this team, and unable to find kills with that. IG, I feel they have to sit back and farm. It might just be one of those games where Zhou has to go for a Rapier. In fact, I'd almost say it is already at this point, because without a Rapier on the Gyro, where's the damage going to come from? These heroes, a Windrunner with a mech, a Puck with a Blink Dagger don't do nearly enough.
Up top here gets found by Havos, immediately TPs out.
Almost dies in the process.
I just want to say, as we see IG doing for a smoke gang, but they can't run past this Remnant, as they had to wait for it to time out. 12 seconds the wait time. All right, now you guys may pass.
That was funny.
Yeah, and then everybody's gone by then. I just want to commend how well Micro, the Chen player Puppey, has been doing. It just, the nets, the storms are always annoying because all these heroes are very squishy on IG side. They can't just run past it. It's just a kind of roadblock after roadblock.
Big smoke from Navi. They're going right before Dendi completes his Scythe of Ice. He's only 700 gold away. They don't... I imagine they just want to find a quick pick here, but we'll see. No Lifestealer bomb yet. Funnick in tow. They're heading towards the top rune for the time being. Navi on the Radiant side, leading 19-12, looking for some big pickoffs here. Dendi could take this Illusion Rune, but would reveal the smoke if IG are paying close attention, or worried that he would. There actually is no Observer Ward here for the Dire side, and IG going to back off towards their own secret shop. Very defensive posture. Puppey now with a point booster. This Chen getting tanky. Has dust. They're all smoked still. The Chen creeps mid, but it looks a bit suspicious. Navi trying to play it like they're all smoked behind Havost, I do believe, as he's solo pushing top. But IG having absolutely none of it. Farming H and sitting way back. And they will now, at long last, I believe, nearly have a BKB on Zhou. 25 minutes in, this Gyro needs a lot more farm than that.
Yeah, the big problem here for Zhou is that he's got that Ogre Club, I want to say 10 minutes ago, and he hasn't been able to complete his BKB because he's been dying every single team fight. He's picked up like 4 or 5 death. He's 3, 6, and 8 right now. Unfortunately, he gets focused in every fight by the Storm Spirit.
Here comes Funnick. He's got a stun. He's going to unleash it. It could catch 2. Only YYF good phase shift from 430. Now they'll leap out. If that caught 2, that was go time for Navi, but only 1, not enough.
Well, they'll back off for now, and here comes a Chen creep. You gotta nuke those down.
Oh, Havost is lurking. Very aggressive position from him. IG are playing scared as well. They should be. If they get caught here and they lose a big fight, that could be Roche, that could even be Rax. And Navi, once they find one pick-off, this kind of lineup's so good at chasing finds 3 or 4. Dust deployed. They won't find anyone yet, though.
A very early mech usage from the Luminous means that they actually can't fight anymore. They really rely on that mech to get themselves more HP, so IG just gives up the tier 2 for free, and now it's probably Roshan time here.
They're giving them the runaround, I think. Navi might even go back in. There's your Scythe of Ice on Dendi. They're playing like they're going for Roche here, but IG, they do have a Sentry Ward in the lane. I think this should be spotted. A big zip from Dendimon. He's Scythed 1, but a great 4-staff out by YYF will keep Show safe. Now Funix stuns himself. IG just cannot fight into this. They've got to wait for Navi to overextend, and Havos throws out an open wounds. They are fishing, they're prodding. Shackle narrowly missing too. But I feel even if that hits, if you don't also catch Puppy, just mech's Hands of Gods, I still don't think you can go into that.
Yeah, I mean, Hands of God, mech, the send back, there's just no way they're going to kill him in time. And here's the lineup. You know, normally I say if you're behind, try your luck with split pushing. Can't split push against a Storm with a Hex, so it's just, it feels like all the avenues are taken away. You can't sneak a Roshan against a Storm, much less it's a Dendi Storm, so what does IG do?
Much less against Chen creeps. If they really are worried, they just send in a Chen creep. IG, they just have to sit together and farm. They've got to get this Gyrocopter some
You're
damage.
farming against an Alchemist and Life Stealer and a Storm.
It's horrible, but what else can you do? You cannot 5-man against them because Navi have such great burst damage, such great pickoff, and IG aren't the best defensive lineup. They have 1 4-staff, 1 BKB, and a mech, and that's it. They will get burst down even if they use all those items. And Navi just continue to exploit their map advantage. For this Ukrainian, Eastern European mix, what they need to do is just keep the lanes pushed in, find pickoffs here and there, and constantly apply pressure. Outfarm IG, starve them. If they take an Aegis, that might just be the key to unlocking this base.
Dendi with the Life Stealer inside of him, just looking for kills. That's going to secure 2 of the outer towers on the bot lane. Don't think about it, IG. I don't know. They're going to lose 1 bird, and they should lose that tier 2. There's just no way they can fight. This entire Alienware Cup tournament has reminded me of TI2 in very many ways. IG and Navi was in the same group stage in TI2, and IG just stomped them in the group stage. Same thing here. And then they met in the winter semis as a initiation on against 430. 430 will just get blown up. Force that backwards, will still die. And here comes BKB Funnick just going to town. Where's the call down? Call down already used. Buyback coming out from Puck. Is it time for re-engage? Kuroki's going to be a 3-man coil. Silent comes in. Shackle shot. That's going to latch on too. Kill Dendi. Kill Puppy. Kill everybody, IG says. But they can't. They just don't have enough damage output. And Life Stealer's coming from behind. Fave is just getting shredded. Nice 4-staff upwards by YYF, playing out of his mind, but again, it's Navi taking big fights after another.
Great engagement there for IG, and actually they might find Havost, who is all by his lonesome, no backup in sight, no infest out either. If they find a Shackle, he could potentially be dead. Kuroki is retreating along with him, and IG continue to pursue. They want this Havost, but this could be a beautiful bait by Havost. Dendi, buyback actually not available. Yeah, that was a Rubik for a Storm, I believe, in the end, which is a fantastic trade
Puck
for IG.
buyback, though.
Oh, and a Puck buyback,
Yeah,
okay.
so maybe not so much, but hey, they're winning some fights.
And they defend their base. That's the big thing. They don't give away Roche. It's not a great trade, but Zhou is farming. He's the one hero who's got to get fat now. 430 at this point in the game, the way the start he's had, I don't think he's getting anything besides a utility item. Something like a Ghost Scepter, a Force Staff, maybe a Yule Scepter. But it's going to be up to Zhou to get a big damage item, and I mean really big, like Divine Rapier big, in order to take these fights. Because Navi, very tanky. That wasn't really a good fight for them, and they still found quite a few pickoffs.
Yeah, don't forget about YYF. I think he's playing well enough to not die in these team fights and maybe get a little bit more assist kills, get a couple more creep kills.
His 4-staffs have been on point. He's been keeping his team alive for ages.
Uh-oh, Zodo.
Well, I mentioned he needs damage items, Lumi. This is not going to help. You do have to ask, what is he doing past the river? No backup in sight against the Shadowblade Alk and a Storm who had respawn. I guess Dendi was spotted mid, but still the Shadowblade Alk off the map. He's desperate for farm. It's understandable he's going for it, but you got to do it with your team back you up. And he was doing it all on his own. Now Chuan, well, just waltzing up the river all by his lonesome. He's doing this against the Storm and the Shadowblade Alk. That's very dangerous, but he'll get out.
I mean, sometimes against a Storm that showed himself on the top lane, be like, yeah, Storm's up top. I just have to take some risk, and sometimes you pay with those risks.
And that's where Funnick punishes you. Shadowblade Alk is, in some ways, even worse than the Storm, because he has insane burst damage.
smoke here from IG as they're trying to make something happen. Storm Spirit just stepped away. D-Ward's going to come out very soon from Navi. In fact, it's Navi thinking about Roshan.
By the way, there's an Abyssal Blade on Havost. I just want to throw that out there. And an Assault Car is about to be delivered. Oh man, their team fight just got infinitely stronger.
And here we go. Are they going to... Oh, they're going to kill the Courier to start in the team fight.
Well, they'll kill the Courier, but the real fight will emerge around the Roshan pit. Aegis will go quickly to Navi. No contest attempted. Dendy low. Dendy not dead yet. Sent back by Puppey. He'll live. He escapes out on the backside. It's Havost finding kills. Now Chuan to fall. 2 hit the deck. Navi lose nothing. And they might just bow down the mid lane now. 430 escaping. Didn't even get off a coil. A silence. This is where 430 needed to make a huge play like what Dendy did in their previous series against Tongfu. Steal an Aegis. Turn the tides of this game. Wasn't in position to do it. And now Navi, pretty much all the tools they need to take racks. They lead by 20k gold, 20k experience, and they'll find another kill here.
GG.
And IG tap out. 2-0 crushed.
The last team fight, they went on Dendy Storm, and Dendy was somewhat isolated by himself as the rest of the team was on the inside the Roshan pit. Meg came out. Hand of God came out, and it was a sendback. They didn't even kill Dendy with 5 people focusing him down. So I think that when you can't 5v1 and kill a person, that's when you really need to tap out.
Wow. What a performance by Navi. And IG, definitely not the IG from the International 2. They are still struggling.
So far, again, it's mirroring the same, I guess, storyline of TI2.
Like, Tongfu gave Navi a way better run for their money.
Game 2 and Game 3 were kind of stomps, so...
Game one was... Oh, no, Game 2 they won. They stopped Navi.
Oh, yeah,
that's
right.
Game 1 they almost won. They would have if Denny and Stone Aegis twice. I think Tongfu looked a lot better. IG just got completely hammered in this series.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with the way that IG's been playing, but Navi, again, going to yet another...
What a story.
Winter Grand Finals, yeah.
What a great story for Navi, for the Western Dota fans. Much like the Alliance to the G1 League, Navi is cruising. The only Western team in this competition, unless you count LGD International, who are sort of a hybrid at this point, I suppose. What a performance.
What a performance.
And with that being said, Bruno, Merlini, you jumped up at the end there. What a series. 2-0 stomp. Navi are cruising. What do you think?
Whose prediction was right?
I bet on Navi.
I said 2-0. Everyone
The
said...
fix is in.
I mean, I knew that was going to happen. Navi outplayed IG.
They outplayed them hard.
The most important thing is that Dendy outplayed Ferrari in a way that I wasn't expecting, to be honest.
Ferrari should have had more silence. I would advocate for a 2-2-1 build.
Yeah.
It's similar to QoP. You really just need more than one level of silence. 0.75 seconds is just not enough.
Not enough. And the other thing is that the mistakes of popping the coil on a Storm Spirit that's post level 6 with half their mana. Okay. Storm.
My Dota's talking to itself.
Navi's definitely having a party right now.
Storm is still celebrating. The game's over. He's still yammering on.
But, I mean, Kuroki, game 1, playing a great Rubik. We talked about that. Game 2.
Yeah, sick Lina.
Sick Lina. Faith Rubik and his defense was quite okay when he stole Light Strike Array. He made a couple of nice plays. Was not enough. Hubos, best player, consistent. Didn't do anything super flashy, but
he
didn't...
finished 9-0-1.
He's Lifestealer, though.
Yeah.
He reined in the aggression this series. Like, there were so many times where I'm like, don't go full Havost. Like, just... You got to kill. It's okay, Havost. You can back off.
He went full Havost. Remember that tower deny against like 5 people and he rage dodged a Shackle Shot?
He was restrained. I think Puppey gave him a talking to and said, bad Havost. No diving.
Oh, man.
Play it safe. And he did.
He was on the front line trying to eat a Shackle Shot for his team, but he was running back and forth.
That was a team play.
Next level bait.
He didn't get hit.
Next level baits.
He didn't get hit. You
Absolutely.
know, Havost plays so well, I think.
Navi had really clean play after the first 3 deaths. The first one where Lina got shackled, and then Puppey getting caught out, and then Denny dying to the telekinesis. After that, their play was just squeaky clean. Almost no mistakes, and very calculated play. They kept up the aggression while keeping up the farm, and I mean, they're just on a roll lately.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's funny about this? And actually, this is not my fact. This is something that Godz said. Hi, Godz. I'm going to replicate. I'm going to steal your line because you're not here. We have 2 teams that are top 3 already. Those are Navi and LGD China. Do you remember their positioning in the group stages?
Sounds a little similar.
I said, no, you're not paying attention. I said, this is what God said.
Yeah.
How did they end in the group stage?
How did who end?
Navi and LGD China.
They're the last place of each group?
Yes. They were the last place of each
Yeah,
group.
LGD China was like 3 and 5. They were at least tied. Navi was 1 and 7.
1 and 7.
That was insane.
So, some surprises here in the Alienware Cup, but not really. Because, I mean, if you tell me LGD China and Navi will end up in top 3, I may say, well, LGD China, I would expect DK maybe or IG to go before LGD China, but I wouldn't be surprised to see those guys there.
Yeah.
So group stage is sometimes kind of like a relaxing part of the game, just trying to see what works. When it matters, when the playoffs comes, these guys delivered.
They turned it on.
So now that we've seen those two teams, who do you think? Who would you put above the other? LGD China or Navi?
LGD China played really well today, but then you look at some of their earlier games; they played very weak.
I mean, so did Navi. Navi, they lost the game versus Tongfu. They lost against every team in the group stage. So
they did go on. I mean, like I can't stress enough. They went 1-7.
You're right. That's like.
But here they are. That's
when you say, is that Rattlesnake or is that Navi? Because Rattlesnake won more game than Navi. It's like,
you didn't answer my question.
Yeah.
I think Navi. Navi seems to have that special something right now, and LGD China's just played safe, stable. LGD China.
You know what? Yeah.
LGD China is one of the best teams at punishing mistakes, and if Navi gets sloppy, I mean, they gave up those 2 kills early. I think LGD China is much less mistake prone than IG. IG is a very aggressive team.
I agree. LG China, even though when they make mistakes, they generally have very nice bounce back. I think Merlini are joking back. They lose every bit of early game laning stage ever. But they still win games. So especially today's performance, they actually won the early game stage. My God, and they won games. So
scary.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm trying to think. Of course, I didn't pay as much attention as the group stages. I actually watched one of the LGD China games that they lost. But during the playoffs, they played against Orange. They won 2-1. They played against remind me, Zenith. No.
That was LGD in.
Time for the brackets.
Yeah, let's look at the brackets.
They played versus Tongfu, didn't they?
No, that was Navi. Navi played against Tongfu.
No, let's see the upper bracket.
The upper bracket.
They play against DK, right? Are you talking about LG China?
LG China, yeah, but before they play versus Zenith. Okay, they won 2-0, and then they play versus DK, they won 2-0, right? So they won 6 games out of 7. And in the 6 games they won, they were never in trouble. Like, they were never in the situation that Navi was in that game 1 versus Tongfu, when they were a little bit behind mid-game. As you say, sometimes the lane doesn't go their way, but they find a way to just get ahead in the mid-game and go forward. In the game they lost against Orange, they were actually behind in the mid-game. I think Navi, if there's anything that they've been shown us, is that they can make a small advantage at the beginning and just build up on that. It will be about what happens at 15 minutes. If LG China is ahead, they will stretch it for 50 minutes if necessary, but they will keep being ahead. I said if necessary. Don't look at me like that, Lumi.
They won in 30 minutes today.
Yeah, 30 minutes. It's an improvement.
That's what happens when they win the early game, which is almost never.
Yeah, exactly. But they will keep building on that advantage. I think if Navi can control the game by 15 minutes, then it's pretty much over. Then I don't think LG China has the ability to just turn games around.
Okay, here's my question to you. If we're talking about the LG China versus Navi matchup, is LG China going to lose their lanes because of individual plays? Or are they going to lose lanes because of the draft? Which, if they're losing the lane because of draft, they generally have better late game to compensate.
They got some sick heroes today, right? Like, they got Bat Rider. I don't think Navi will give away a Bat Rider.
And he was laning against a DK. I don't think Navi will lane a DK.
Right.
Yeah. If they do that, it'll be like a Puck mid. It'll be a Queen of Pain.
Are you convinced right now that DK mid sucks? Like, I've been saying this since the beginning of the playoffs.
It's a situational mid. It's not a bad mid. It just doesn't beat the strong mid.
Nothing.
So you have to pick it.
It doesn't beat anything. It's either a wash or a lose.
Yeah.
But he offers you so much more than a lot of other mids in the mid game. That hero is ridiculous once he hits 6.
Right.
If you get lucky.
You don't want to pick him early, though. Like, a lot of these teams are picking him, like, second or third. Like, you want to squeeze him in when you see they've gone for, like, a Mag or a Panda. Something that's... We haven't seen much Panda.
You can't DK pick mid first before knowing their mid. Or before they pick their mid.
Right.
You can't just blindly says, all right, DK.
We'll DK this.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because when they picked DK in the first game of LG China versus DK, this is going to be confusing. Team DK picked Bat Rider on the first pick, and they replied with the Dragon.
No. LGD China picked Bat Rider, and then
DK
picked
the other way around. Yeah. LG China picked the Bat Rider, and Team DK went for DK. That's just silly.
Maybe they thought it was an off lane, but come on. Like, they'll adjust their draft if they see you pick DK mid. They're going to take that 1v1.
I actually favor Navi over LGD China just because LGD China is just a one-trick pony. Although their trick is amazing, 4 protect 1, we'll out late game you, and if we win the early game, we'll just dominate you. But we've seen Navi run a lot of different things. We saw a Wisp, obviously. We've seen a support Alchemist transition into a somewhat late game. We've seen the very aggressive strategy with Puck and a lot of other stuns.
We've seen the Tricore.
Yeah,
I disagree, Merlini.
We've seen the Treant Protector.
I disagree. What did LGD China do in the second game against DK? They offensive tri-lane, and they play musical chair lanes with Sylar and Xiao A. We never seen that before, right? So I don't know if they're a one-trick pony. They definitely been running offensive tri-lanes, and that's actually pretty good against Navi, right? Because IG had a very good start by running offensive tri-lane both games. It didn't really carry through.
I also don't think you give away Lifestealer. Can I just say, as well as Batrider, I mean, this hero is very dangerous. I guess it's going to be tricky if they're second pick, because they want to ban Wisp. They probably, maybe Treant, but probably something like the Batrider they don't want to give away, and then maybe a Lifestealer slips through. But if you are going to give that hero away, you need strong heroes to punish it.
Yeah.
Could see Razor, but LGD China's not going to pick Razor.
That's the thing. Is like
They're not gonna do
someone
it.
like Zenith could take advantage of that, but that's not LGD
Does
China.
LGD China pick Bane? Because that's another support that's really good against Lifestealer, which I don't think they actually pick.
I don't remember them.
I've
picking
seen them sometimes pick. Some of the Chinese teams pick Bane, but it's like to counter Lone Druid for the Enfeeble.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them pick a Bane for Fiend's Grip to counter Lifestealer too much.
We'll see. I mean, Lifestealer, I don't think Lifestealer is still as strong as it used to be. And I don't know if today the patch rolls, which means that tomorrow we'll have
What day is today? It's Wednesday, right?
Wednesday. And tomorrow is
How do
July-
you not
4th
know?
4th of July.
It's 4th of July. Is Valve even working?
No, but that's why today they will have to roll the patch. So if they roll the patch today,
The plot thickens.
tomorrow we'll have
Treant Protector.
See
Bye
you,
bye.
Protector,
Batrider got a bit of a
Phantom
nerf as well. Lifestealer, Rage
Yeah.
longer
So
cooldown.
picks,
Battlecop
everybody. Lumi first. LGD China versus Navi.
LGD China, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe
This
that's very
confidence. Look at
convincing.
this guy.
Your confidence got shattered today after IG got crushed.
Yeah.
Wow.
My soul got crushed after I saw their play and picks. Oh my god.
LD?
Navi, 2-0. They've been crushing.
Oh, now you jump into the bandwagon.
You? They convinced me. I'm convinced.
I'm going to give Navi a 2-0 again. I just haven't seen them both play today. I think Navi matches up very well against LGD China.
I think I'll put my rares on Navi if it's 60-40. If it's anything, maybe 65-35, anything worse.
Forget the percentage.
Them
Just
rares.
tell us your actual
Stand
pick.
for something,
I
Merlini.
know.
I only bet in one way, okay? My mind only thinks in
He's got the
terms of
numbers
rares now.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow we actually won't have that match,
No.
though. That match is going to be in a few days' time, but we should take a look at the brackets and see our losers bracket, because that's where Alienware Cup will continue tomorrow. And for the losers bracket, we have Zenith versus Orange.
That's gonna be so fun.
Southeast Asian bloodbath in this upper
I'm
half of the
looking
lower
forward to it.
bracket. And then Tongfu versus LGDN. This sucks for the Southeast Asian Dota fans. MUFC has to play Orange. Someone's going to lose there. Now Zenith has to play Orange. Sure, they could have won their upper bracket matches and not been here, but now there will only be one Southeast Asian contender left after tomorrow.
But that means that at least there will be a Southeast Asian contender tomorrow. If they were in different groups and both lose, suddenly bye-bye Southeast Asian Asia. Southeast Asian Dota.
I just want to say, when you know how when like Chinese team play against each other, we get like 80-minute games, and that's not fun to watch. And then when we see like Euro play Euro, you cast it on Corsair Cup, it's like 75-minute throw fest. I have to say, when Orange plays Zenith,
Yeah.
it's like Tinker Wars. It is like
And Mushi gets his anti-mage.
right.
he
It
gets
is just
his
like
alchemist.
crazy stuff. It is like, it is amazing Dota. So tune in tomorrow. It is beautiful Dota.
Summon
coming
your
in.
inner failfish, because it might be going on.
Yeah, maybe.
But what do we think about those matches? Predictions? Any insight?
For the first match, my heart says Zenith, my brain says Orange.
Me too.
For the second match, was Tongfu versus LGD Int. I think Tongfu will have that easy.
Tofu easy in that matchup too.
Youch.
Okay, if the patch rolls out, definitely Orange. If not, Tree and Timbersaw offlane will continue to break Dota. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know why they didn't try it again though. Whatever team they
That
just let us
combos
play,
is
they didn't
unbeatable.
do it.
It is unbeatable.
I think it was available to them.
Yeah,
but
it was, so-
They didn't go outside of their territory and. Timbersaw living armor. Oh my goodness.
Just don't give Ice Darkseer, because as of late when he plays that hero, he just like charges into 4
Yeah.
at the 1 minute mark.
Yeah,
and just-
yeah, yeah.
Give him
Dies.
Invoker. That would be fun.
Solo offlane Juggernaut. He did that too.
He did that too. But that works. I've seen teams do that. I mean,
Wait, remember when he ran around the entire map and was level 2 for
Yeah.
like 8 minutes?
Just trying
Does
to
it
get
work
something.
really?
Well, not like that, but
That's what he does.
Merlini sponsored by Dota 2 Lounge.
You should actually.
How much are
ask
they
for-
paying you for all this
Yeah,
promotion, though? It's a
seriously.
legitimate question.
Wow.
Full disclosure, Merlini.
0.
do you know how?
I've
Well, you're getting
I've-
gypped then.
I've never even mentioned the site once.
But everyone knows where you go to bet rares.
I think he gets his payment in rares. That's how he bets so much.
Can we pay you in rares? Like, is that?
Absolutely not.
I have lots of axis. And you really like those.
Well,
I shouldn't have deleted all
and
mine.
Omni Knight Hammers?
Only if you behave and you're a nice kid.
Well,
If you're
if
naughty,
you pay me in rares, I would probably starve in like a couple weeks.
if you're naughty, I'll give you Spencer's.
All right, guys. I think we've reached a good closing point. Any final thoughts? Last things you want to say before we wrap up the show?
I want to say one last thing: is where is Keeper of the Light? We haven't seen him so far.
We really
Yeah,
should have seen him
that's-
in
that's
that
a really
one
good
game.
question.
The DK game too. They
Yes.
really needed a Keeper of the Light, Jakiro, a strong AOE counter pusher. But
yeah, it's
didn't
more for
have
the
one.
it's more for the Eastern teams, I think, rather than Navi, just because they need to delay and farm up. That is their style. 4 protect 1, delay pushes, try and stop the 5-man and out farm them by split pushing. But where is Keeper of the Light? That hero is thebomb.com at stopping pushes. So is Tinker. We haven't seen Tinker either.
You've got
Yeah.
competition.
I know, that's so good. I'm going to use it next time.
Your YOLO swag 420s are
I've
wearing
been, I've
thin.
been laying back of that. I'm going back to the
Classic Lumi.
the classic league.
Okay.
Vanilla
value?
Lumi.
That value.
The value league.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time to close the show, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you all for joining us today. That's going to conclude today's Alienware Cup coverage. Immediately following this statement or this close, we'll have a rebroadcast for y'all. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'm LD. He's Lumi. They're Merlini and Bruno. Of course, Kawa producing. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow when the lower bracket continues. Congratulations to Navi and LGD China. They'll be in your upper bracket finals. See you guys.